Good afternoon, YouTube. Let me get right down to this. I had another vision two nights ago. Now I wanted to post it earlier, but I've been working on things on this phone to try to make my videos a little more interesting for you, so you don't get bored or anything. But I'm gonna try to make it quick and simple. I had another vision. I had a dream. Hey, what's up, man? Excuse me. I had another dream. I was running through, it seemed like an apartment complex, and I was with some of my family members, and we were running through places looking for things for us to find because there was a war going on outside, and the places that we were going into had already been ransacked by somebody else. We came to a room, and we were looking around for things in this room, going through all the drawers and stuff, but it already had been ransacked too. There was a window in this room. I kept running to the window to look outside. When I ran out to the window, I looked, and there was something in the clouds. I could only see one from my view, but it was something that looked like it was blended into the cloud, but it was planted in the cloud, like it wasn't going anywhere. It's going to stay right there, and I could kind of picture something was touching the ground from it, and something was going all the way up into the sky, like it just planted itself in the middle of the sky. And I remember looking up at that thing in the sky and trying to discern what it was, but then I left the window and I ran back, and I was trying to get my family members to come on. I was like, we gotta hurry up, we gotta come on. But what happened was I was like in the room, come on y'all, we gotta get out of here. And I ran back to the window and looked again. The thing was still in the sky. And I looked down, and there was people running around there shooting guns and robbing and looting and stuff. I didn't know what was going on. But I ran back into the room, looked around. It's like, all right, we're out of time, y'all. We got to go. Ran back to the window again. So, but this time it was kind of weird because I clicked on a light right before I went to the window. And when I did that, I looked downstairs, and it was like soldiers with a bunch of little kids, like brainwashed little kids, and they all looked up, and the little kids started pointing at me in the window, and it was like they didn't say nothing, they were just pointing at me. And I noticed they had seen where I was in this window, and I shut the window. And I remember trying to scramble out of there and getting down to the street. And I remember people were running everywhere, and I was hearing gunshots and stuff, but and this thing was still in the sky and stuff. And I woke up, and I was like, that was pretty wild right there. But let me get back to you in 1 second here. So anyway, YouTube, I had this dream, and then I went one day, and then not last night, but the night before, I was sitting there watching YouTube videos, and I came across previews for a new TV show on Sci-Fi Network coming out called Childhood's End. And what I seen in that preview alluded to what I saw in my dream. The military was using kids somehow, brainwashed kids, and the kids were helping the military to find people. But I don't know if that's what the Childhood End is about, but I just saw the preview of the same looking thing in the sky that was stuck in the cloud, and kids and soldiers, trying to help the soldiers, these demonic entities. But this is real warfare, folks. We are really at spiritual war. So I want y'all to really, really get it right with God, man. It's so important, everybody. Stop all the things that you're doing. Sell all the things that you know you don't need. Things that you probably shouldn't have in the first place. But, like, for instance, I was watching one of your videos, I believe Small Still Voice. I was watching a video and she was describing how we need to give out of our hearts and stuff. But while I was watching this video, God gave me a little vision. He was like, Chris, I want you to give your watch to somebody. I have a really blinged out watch. And I've had this watch for years, and it's so blingy and shiny and nice. You know, I wear it when I go out all the time, but I said, Chris, I want you to give this watch to somebody. And then he gave me a vision of what this brother looked like. And just in a few seconds, I heard God say, give your watch away, and this is who you're going to give it to. Well, last night I was at the 99-cent store getting some groceries, and I looked at this dude like 3 times, and I'm sitting here like, I swear that's the same guy that God told me to give the watch to. And then I thought about it. I was like, Lord, is that him? Yes. Lord, is that really him? Yes. The guy was in line, got his groceries and left. I chased him out the door and caught him at his car. And I was like, man, I know this sounds crazy, but check this out. God told me to give you this watch. My watch, man. Like, I love my watch, man, but God told me to give it to you. And I don't know what the reason is for, but he told me to give this to you, and he told me to tell you to do the same thing to somebody else in return, and to prepare for his coming. I gave that brother that watch. He was like, man, I don't know what to say. We exchanged names, and then I left. But I did it because I heard God to tell me to do that. I didn't question. I did question it. I didn't want to get rid of my watch, but I did. And I'm starting to think it's some kind of symbolic to this man that maybe we're out of time. There's no time left. It has something to do with a watch. My watch was broke too. It wasn't broke, it needed a battery. I had my watch set to 419, and it just stuck right there, 419. Don't, you know, read between the lines on that, but like, you know, I feel like I need to give everything up. I'm ready to leave it all behind to go with God, to make sure that I get sucked up in that cloud like my first dream, and not in the line like my second dream. God is real, folks. Jesus is real. I'm going to post another video here about sleep paralysis. Is it really sleep paralysis? I'm going to get to that later, and I'm going to get into some details about that. We gotta have love, folks, in these last days. I don't know what to tell y'all, but we gotta show mercy, we gotta show love, we gotta give out of our hearts, and we gotta try to get as many people as we can, because I do not want them to see what I see in my visions. See, God knows I can handle these visions in my sleep, so He gives me these visions. He knows that I can discern, and He gave me this discernment to see what these dreams are and what they're telling me. And telling y'all, folks, we don't want to be in that line. We don't want to take that mark. We don't want to do none of that. Peace be with you. And remember, you're the head, not the tail. Amen.